A lot of discoveries can be easy to explain, while other discoveries remain a total mystery. There are some things that simply have no explanation for why they exist at all, and we're not sure why our own brain kills its own cells, but one thing is certain. You will walk away from this thinking the universe is stranger than you thought. Lizardfish. In the depths of the ocean's abyss lurks the world's deepest living super predator, the lizardfish. It resembles something from a horror creature film. It's given its name Bathysaurus ferox, which means fierce deep-sea lizard, from its lizard-shaped head, which is mostly mouth filled with hinged teeth. Once it has its prey in its jaws, there is no escape, as the more the prey struggles, the further into the mouth of the lizardfish it will go. Scientists had no idea it even existed until they unexpectedly found it while trawling off the coast of eastern Australia. It lives 3,280 feet to 8,200 feet or 1,000 to 2,500 meters under the water surface on the ocean floor, where it buries itself under the sand, where it hides and waits for its prey. Secret subatomic event. A pair of physicists demonstrated that two tiny particles called bottom quarks could fuse together in a powerful flash. The resulting quark explosion would be more powerful than individual nuclear fusion reactions, such as those in the cores of hydrogen bombs. When fusing together two bottom quarks, they produced a whopping 138 mega-electron volts. H-bombs fuse together tiny hydrogen nuclei called deuterons and tritons to create helium nuclei. But each one of those individual reactions inside an H-bomb only releases 18 mega-electron volts. But don't worry, this couldn't be used as a weapon because a chain reaction isn't possible with bottom quarks. Hydrogen bombs get their incredible power from chain reactions of cascading fusions of lots of nuclei all at once. And an important property of bottom quarks makes them impossible to stockpile. They wink out of existence just 1 picosecond after they're created. Killing neurons. A new study has shown that as we learn, a burst of new cells is created to help the brain deal with the new information. When this happens, the brain decides which of the new cells work the best while getting rid of the extras that it doesn't need in a survival of the fittest contest. In the study, a group of right-handed people were asked to write with their left hands instead. Each person then had ongoing brain scans or MRIs over 7 weeks. During learning, gray matter in the brain grew by 2 to 3% and then shrunk to its original size. A mix of neurons and synapses, along with cells that help the brain function, suddenly appear, and then some of those cells end up disappearing. It is still not known why some cells survive and some cells do not. Even though it might sound harmful to learn new things, our brains have probably been doing this for thousands of years. Fierce female Viking. A high-status Viking warrior's bones were found inside a grave, and most believed it to be the burial site of a great male Viking warrior. You would think this since throughout history, most great warriors were male. But a DNA test was done on the bones and they turn out to be the bones of a woman. Inside of her burial grave was a sword, an axe, a spear, arrows, a battle knife, 2 shields, and the bones of 2 horses, most likely the warrior war horses. This suggests that the Viking woman was a professional warrior or a high-ranking military warrior. It appears that women warriors, or Valkyries, are not just a mythological phenomenon, but were actually women warriors in real life. The elongated skulls of Paracas in Peru. Paracas is a desert peninsula located on the south coast of Peru. In 1928, a massive and elaborate graveyard was found here that had tombs filled with the remains of individuals who had the largest elongated skulls ever found. More than 300 of these elongated skulls were found. Some of the skulls date back to about 3,000 years. When DNA testing was done, it was reported that the results showed the skulls had mitochondrial DNA with mutations unknown in any human, primate, or any other animal known so far. The elongation is a mystery and was thought to be ancient civilizations purposely mutilating their skulls from a young age. This could be done by using cloth or binding the head between 2 pieces of wood. However, the skulls have completely different features of a human skull, showing the shape could be genetic. A huge stone sphere discovered in mid-March 2016 in Bosnia. Many prehistoric stone balls have been discovered in Europe, but none as big as the ball uncovered in Bosnia. So far, less than half of the ball has been uncovered, but the preliminary results showed the sphere to have a radius between 1.2 to 1.5 meters, about 3 to 5 feet. The giant stone ball has a very high iron content, which would explain the very dark brown and red color. Because of this, the density of the ball should be very high. It could weigh more than 30 tons. This is an important find because Southern Europe, the Balkans, and Bosnia were home for advanced civilizations from the past, but there are no written records about them. They had high technology different than ours. Two-headed flatworm. Researchers have sent a lot of animals to space and have been doing this for decades. But something unexpected happened when a flatworm that was sent to space came back with two heads. This anomaly would never happen in the wild. Flatworms are interesting creatures in that if you cut one into pieces, they will magically grow new heads and tails, and each one of those will be a different worm. Their regeneration process is well known but not completely understood. What is even more surprising is that now that flatworms were back on Earth, more dissection tests were done, and the worms would regrow two heads over and over, meaning that the change the flatworms went through, including high G forces from takeoff and loss of Earth's magnetic shield, affected the regeneration process in the worm. Huge jelly blobs spotted off Norway coast. Mysterious jelly blobs suddenly appeared off the coast of Norway, and nobody has been able to identify what they are. Some experienced divers have reported seeing mysterious 1 meter or 3.3 feet wide diameter jelly-like blobs. Could they be eggs? Aliens? It's hard to know since there aren't any samples because no one dares to touch one of these. Not only that, but they are extremely rare. In fact, divers have been asked to capture this creature and freeze it so it can be studied. The blobs are translucent and have a dark streak through their center. Could the blobs be egg sacs from an unknown cephalopod? It's hard to say until someone is brave enough or lucky enough to find one and capture it as a sample. Until then, these creatures will remain a mystery. The giant stone balls of Costa Rica. These giant stone balls that were found in Costa Rica are considered a great unsolved archaeological mystery. Since the 1930s, hundreds of stone balls have been found and they all range in different sizes, from a few centimeters to some measuring over 2 meters in diameter, and even some weighing 16 tons. So far, there are around 300 spheres that are documented. They are certainly monolithic sculptures that were made by hand. These stone balls have been endangered since their discovery, with many believing treasures were hidden inside, so they were blown up to see what was inside. There is nothing written about the advanced civilizations or what tools they had used. These round balls could have been markers for calendars, maybe markers for important landmarks, or they could have simply been carved as monoliths. Dark matter. To pinpoint exactly what dark matter is will leave you with more questions that are unknown than what is known about the subject. But now it is thought that dark matter is ordinary neutrons that have decayed. Our universe is made up of 68% dark energy, 27% dark matter, and just 5% is actually made up of the normal stuff we know about, such as stars, planets, dust, gas, plasma, and black holes. The universe is full of matter, and the attractive force of gravity pulls all matter together. It was once thought that the expansion of the universe was slowing down, but the Hubble telescope showed that the universe was expanding more slowly than it does today. This means that the expansion of the universe is accelerating. We call this accelerating universe dark energy. Still, no one knows why the expansion of the universe is happening. There are a few possibilities for this acceleration, including vacuum energy or dynamic energy driven by some kind of field that changes over time, or general relativity could be wrong.